Hey, I'm here with Erimm Siljkovic, and I just, there have been some questions that had arisen in different conversations about the county's recycling program. So, Ermin, can you tell us what you do in regards to the recycling program in the county?
So I'm the Orange County Recycling Coordinator, and I'm charged with helping to provide education and outreach and awareness to our general recycling program, also waste prevention and composting. So we manage 3 facilities in Orange County that receive waste from commercial, from municipal, and from individual residents. But we also help educate, as I mentioned, general waste reduction, recycling, and composting programs throughout the county.
That's great. That's great. How much does Orange County recycle at this point? And is there any sense of what the percentage is versus the possible totals?
So it's really hard to kind of pinpoint a number as far as how much Orange County recycles as a whole. Like I said, we manage 3 facilities.
However, 3 facilities. I'm sorry.
However,
yeah.
Materials do flow to other parts, other counties in the region.
Okay.
The general understanding is that we are in the high teens as far as our recycling diversion rate, but it could be increased with more outreach, more understanding, more videos like this,
right,
where not only do we recycle more, but we can recycle correctly. The challenge that we're facing now in the current climate, especially with no longer being able to sell our recyclable commodities to China,
right,
is the cleanup of our recyclables. A lot of folks tend to put in plastic bags or chip wrappers or food soiled paper into our recycling bins, rendering those loads, when there's a significant amount of those what are called contaminants in recycling loads, those loads could be rendered as waste, solid waste, or trash as we know it. So what we're trying to do is educate folks on how to recycle not just more, but also correctly, so that we increase the chances of the materials to be recycled and to hopefully increase that recycling rate.
Great. There are a lot of stories out there, sort of, and it's all anecdotal, of people saying that, we're doing the recycling, I'm doing it, it's not actually reaching.
Right.
Like, can you speak to any of that and people's concerns that their efforts, are not necessarily bearing the fruit they would like?
As always, in any system, there are inefficiencies, and there may be bad actors who are on occasion do the wrong thing when it comes to haulers collecting, let's say, the single stream with the trash and vice versa.
Right.
But I can assure you that the recycling program that we have in Orange County does work. The facilities that we contract with spend millions upon millions in investments in infrastructure and also in paid staff. And also the haulers that operate in our county, in large part, do the due diligence of making sure that they correctly receive the materials separately, whether it be picking up the solid waste and recycling on 2 separate routes, or there is a misconception that most of the materials go into the same container. And usually, again, not to say that there aren't any bad actors or instances where the wrong thing happens, but usually many of the haulers, or most of the haulers, have what are called dual bay trucks, where recyclables as well as trash can be picked up on the same route in the same truck.
Got it.
So I do welcome anyone who notices that instance happening where the trash gets put onto the same truck. Definitely try to take pictures or record the truck number if you can, and give us a call, or give us a call in any case. But I can assure you, for the most part, and as much as we can manage, the materials are being correctly collected, being brought to our facilities, and then being sent to what are called materials recovery facilities downstream, to then be further source separated and baled and sold out to market. There is a value in recycling. Why this works is that materials can be recouped. Even though there is a large expense, much of that expense can be recouped on the sale of commodities. So I would definitely caution everybody, you know, whenever they read an alarmist article out there that recycling doesn't work, or if they see a truck picking up the trash with their recyclables, take a pause, and definitely, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at the county to answer any questions you might have.
What are the most important things or the most impactful things an individual can do to make the recycling process more efficient and more profitable for their local municipalities?
So definitely material that comes directly to our 3 transfer stations, Transfer Station 1 in New Hampton, Transfer Station 2 in Newburgh, and Transfer Station 3 in Port Jervis, is when folks source separate their recyclables further, keeping their commingled metal, glass, cans, and beverage containers separate from their paper and cardboard. Because yes, while we do pay an expense for the commingled containers, we do generate a slight revenue from the paper and cardboard. So that's where, you know, where the rubber meets the road for us at the county, where we can generate a little bit of revenue to kind of buffer our expenses. That's if you're willing and able to bring it to either one of the 3 transfer stations, as I
Directly.
mentioned. And to find where those transfer stations are is probably too long in this.
I'll put a map in, that's fine.
But orangecountygov.com/EFS, you'll find where the transfer station locations are. However, if it's too inconvenient to go to the transfer stations, yes, please do participate in your curbside single stream programs. Definitely continue to do that. We want you to still be able to recycle. But if you find your way out to either one of those 3 transfer stations, the further source separation of your paper and cardboard from your commingled containers does help the county reduce its expense load.
Got it. And is the right now, I happen to know that the cardboard is a really premium product inside this world because of a shortage of cardboard in the marketplace, right? And the fact that we all use so much cardboard these days through shipping. What about what is the next best? Is it the plastic and aluminum, or is it the glass and aluminum, or the plastic? I mean, the plastic, I would assume, is the largest cost center.
Yeah. So at our transfer stations, we don't really separate the commingled further than that. So if we don't have the bays or facilities set up at our transfer stations to further break down that commingled, to kind of dig into, let's say, PET or HDPE, where you can probably further get some revenue. So that material definitely goes down to the MRF, and whatever that they source, separate, and collect from there, they do get that revenue.
And that's the plastic side of it.
Plastic side.
Right.
An interesting thing, though, is glass. Glass has a cost impact too. Glass tends to have a net negative on the whole processing side and the equation.
Because it's so heavy.
Not just because of that, because it breaks and it tends to contaminate the rest of recyclables.
Thank you.
So we encourage folks to recycle their glass, definitely, and especially if it's convenient, to bring your glass bottles and jars that have a deposit to their local reverse vending machines. But yes, just as kind of a side note, glass does tend to be an additional cost to it. So
interesting. All right.
If you can avoid glass in your packaging and use more PET, but then you can have the other side of the equation where glass is perceived as being more healthier and not leach plastic. So again, I'm not taking a public health stance there, but I understand that people make their own consumer choices.
But we're talking about a specific
But
thing.
If we're talking about costs, yes, glass does increase the cost of for the processing cost when it comes to our single stream recyclables.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Down in old Cornwall, the whole summer through, we take your old produce and kitchen scraps too.